body are exercising. That is what will bring maximum benefit through yoga. That is what really is yoga. Otherwise, it's just plain and simple exercise. Yoga is designed to increase energy of communication in body systems. It stimulates better immune system and body's repair mechanism. It makes you feel better. But the same sort of palliative yoga exercises also has a therapeutic effect, and Dr. Rajan has innovated on a very unique yoga therapy method called measured yoga therapy, where we measure how the nadis on our fingertips are performing, and on the basis of that, we can recommend some very targeted exercises that can benefit your particular condition. So if any of you have any conditions you want to talk about, you can email me or you can email Jayashree Prakash. The email addresses are right here. Close to 1,000 people have gone through our yoga therapy program, and people with complex illnesses, with comorbidities, and side effects of medications have had substantial benefit through our yoga therapy program. A few points to note about today's yoga class. First and foremost, please follow instructions to avoid any adverse reactions. Important instruction is to keep your spine straight and take support if needed. And do your practices gently without strain. If it is too much strain on the body, then it's not yoga by definition. Also, there is a limit in duration or count of specific exercises. Please follow it. When you have doubt, avoid the practice or seek clarification, but remember that the liability is entirely yours. Do not multitask or merge two exercises. The slower you do, the better it is for you. The other very important thing is regular disciplined practice. So if you miss a day, use the video recording from our yoga channel on YouTube, Life in Yoga Rajan, where we broadcast our sessions live and save there automatically. Yoga brings good health of mind and body. It brings inner awareness and a sense of cosmic connection. And with that, I'll welcome you all to our yoga family, and I will let Dr. Rajan start today's session.
Namaste, everyone. As usual, we begin with 3 Oms. Let's take a deep breath in. Okay, so as usual, we can have Revati Iyengar. Do you want to share as to why it is you're so regular in your practice, joining us every day? If so, you can unmute yourself and speak up.
Namaste, Dr. Rajan. I too have a lot of issues with my spine, and doing this every day gives me not only a sense of discipline, but it is also helping me to feel more energized and not so lethargic as I used to be before. And I'm really enjoying it. That is why I'm doing it every day as much as I can. There are some days that I miss, but I try to keep with it as much as possible.
Did you have pain earlier?
Yes, I have had 2 major back surgeries. I have bad scoliosis, and so I have a chronic backache, but now it's improved a lot.
Okay, so, but you're now pain-free, or still you have little pain left?
Now it depends on my workload for the day. If I'm on my feet for too long, then I do have back pain. If not, if I take things easy, then it's not so bad.
So were you taking pain medications before?
No, I didn't. Only if it was too bad, then I took an Advil or something on that particular day, but not on a regular basis. No.
Okay. So now how many, but how much time is it since you have taken any Advil?
It's been quite a while, actually. I don't know when I took it last.
So more than a month or 2?
Yes, more than that.
More than that. So 3-4 months or longer. Okay. Thank you so much. Good to hear that. Namaste. So we can proceed further with our chakra vibrations as usual. So bring the awareness to the perineum. I don't think there is anybody new. Is there anybody new today? If so, unmute yourself and say yes. Okay, so nobody knew. And as you know, on Sundays, we keep the time from 7 to 7:30 to discuss some topic. There's yesterday and today, we had a conference in Moscow in Russia. So I was quite busy attending all of that, and that is why the morning session I was not present. So I will share with you all what was the content of the conference, and then after that, later on we will get the YouTube links of the conference material, and as we go along in the weeks, whichever are the most important ones, we can look at some of them as we go along. Okay. So bring your awareness to the perineum and pressing on the little finger, we do LUM. Take a deep breath in. LUM. 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 Release the finger and continue. LUM. Bring your awareness behind the navel, and there we do VUM, and we press on the ring finger with the thumb. VUM. 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 Release the fingers and continue. VUM. VUM. Bring your awareness behind the navel, and there we do RUM, pressing on the middle finger. RUM. 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 Release the finger, continue. Bring the awareness to the middle of the chest, in between the breasts, and here we do yum, pressing on the index finger with the thumb. Release the fingers, continue. Bring the awareness to the throat, and here we do hum, thumbs up, loose fist. Release the fingers and continue. Last time. Bring the awareness to the middle of the head, and here we do chum, thumbs up, loose fist. Release the hand and continue. Now, bring the awareness to the top of the head, and here we do Om, thumbs up, loose fist. So now let's go on to the happy face breathing, Ujjayi Pranayama. So bring your awareness. If you know it, please go ahead. For those who need instruction, bring your awareness to the bottommost part of the mouth, what we call as the throat, where it connects into the neck. Focusing there, make a big smile. As you make a big smile, you will find a mild stretch at the throat. Focus on the stretch, and as you inhale and exhale in a comfortable pace of breathing, feel like the air is rubbing along the stretch in the throat. While inhaling, it'll feel like a mild sucking sensation. And while exhaling, it'll feel like a reverse sucking sensation. Please continue. Ritesh Shah, you're doing well. Carry on. You're doing well. No problem. You're doing very well. Carry on.
Thank you.
Now, let's go on to the respiratory mantra. From behind the sternum in the middle of the body, feel a rising vibration going to the top of the head. And it feels like Haim Em So please carry on. Now, let's bring our awareness to the chest or lungs and do the Heim vibration. So the hum vibration, you just feel it's vibrating in the chest mentally. Just visualize that. That's it, nothing else. Now, let's go on to our spinal alignment. Bring your hands behind your back and get hold of your elbows. And by the way, the conference that we had, the name of the conference was Science, Information, and Spirit. So that is the name of the conference. And that itself tells you our Sunday time is allocated for philosophical discussions. So that is where you will have a lot of interesting aspects about how the yoga philosophy and what it explains, how you can measure it with science. So that is what it's all about. So keep that in mind. And now take a deep breath in, pull back the shoulders, expand the chest. And as you exhale, gently tilt your head, bringing one ear towards the shoulder. Inhale, come back, expand the chest. Exhale towards the other shoulder and continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back up. And as you exhale, turn the head and look over one shoulder. Inhale, expand the chest and come back. Exhale, turn towards the other side and continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back, expand the chest. And as you exhale, twist the entire spine, even as you look as far to the left as you can. Inhale, come back, and exhale, turn the other way and look as far to the right as you can. And inhale. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back. Now, get your hands to your hips. And as you inhale, push on one hand and make a backward arch. And exhale, come forward. Inhale, push on the other hand and make a backward arch. And exhale, come forward. And continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now, bring the hands forward, interlock the fingers, and push out your hands. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, twist as far to the one side as you can and hold it there. Inhale and exhale. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, go all the way to the other side and hold. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, come back to the middle. Inhale, palm into the chest. And exhale, bring the palms the other way. Inhale and exhale and stay there. As you stretch, observe the stretch in the fingers. Stretch out the thumb. Feel the stretch in the wrist, the forearms, the shoulders, the shoulder blades. Inhale and exhale into the stretch. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, go to one side and stay there. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, twist to the other side and stay there. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, come to the middle. Inhale, palm into the chest. And exhale, lift up the hand straight up as high as you can. Now, release the hands and get hold of your elbows. As you exhale, push on one elbow or pull on one elbow and inhale, come back up. Exhale, pull on the other elbow and continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, release. Stretch out the hands and go around the wrist. Let's go opposite direction. Now bring the hands, elbows in line with the shoulders. Let's go around the wrist. Inhale and exhale. Let's go reverse. Last time, inhale and exhale. Get hold of your hands and bring it behind the head. And as you exhale, twist to one side, inhale, come back. Exhale the other way, inhale, come back, and continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back. Now we will rotate the neck 360 degrees. As you exhale, bring down the chin to the chest. Inhale, go around half a circle. And exhale, complete the circle and continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. And now we go in the reverse direction. Last inhalation and last exhalation. And now we'll do something a little new and different today. Cross one leg over the other and hold the entire leg with your hands. And inhale and bring it up as much as you can towards you. And then you can shake it side by side. Inhale and exhale. Excellent. Now let's go for the other leg. Now we can cross like the usual, one leg over the other and get hold of the knee. And as you exhale, pull and turn. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull and turn, and continue. Last exhalation, pull and turn. Inhale, release. Let's cross the leg the other way. As you exhale, pull and turn. Last exhalation, inhale, release. Now we will both the shoulders together, we will lift. And as we lift up your hips also. So inhale and exhale. And with respect to the breath, feel the awareness going to the middle of the brain, and as you exhale, going downward. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now today we go on to Bahya Kumbhak. We didn't do that yesterday. And the Bahya Kumbhak is, as you exhale, you pull up the pelvic floor, and then continue to exhale, abdominal area goes in. And as you continue to exhale and the chest empties, you bring the chin down to the chest. You hold out the breath for as long as is comfortable, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 20 seconds, it doesn't matter. And when you're ready to inhale, very slowly inhale and release all the locks that you have done and come up. And at the moment you have come up, begin the next exhalation again, pull up the pelvic floor, abdominal area in, and slowly bring the chin towards the chest. So please continue, and I'll be doing along with you. And if you have any question, you're welcome to ask. So here we go. Make sure you don't create strain in the system. Do it with relative ease within your capacity. Last exhalation. Slowly inhale and come up. Now, let's go on to our alternate nostril breathing. But before that, just check how the breath is in both the nostrils. If they are about equal, then in which case you can just bring your awareness right in the middle of the head. And as you exhale, feel it go downward. So that's good enough. Otherwise, you can do the alternate nostril breathing. Let's continue. Now we can go on to the respiratory mantra. And yesterday we did the fast one, so today we will do the slow one. We do the 7 mantras from the feet and ankle to the knees to the lowermost part of the spine, which is in between the buttocks and the back, and then the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, the cervical spine in the neck, and then in the back of the head, in the very top, called the Shikha point. The mantra for the feet and neck are the same, that is Aim. Now let us begin from the feet and ankle with mantra Aim, moving to knees where we vibrate Shim, and move on to the base of the spine where we do Jim. Aim, Shim, 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 Jim. Now we move from the base of the spine to the lumbar region, then to the thoracic or the back region of the spine with Jim, Jaim, Haim. So let's go. Jim, Jaim, Haim. 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 Now we move from the thoracic spine to the spine and the neck to the back of the head with Haim, Aim, Om. Let's go. Haim, Aim, Om. 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 Now we do all the 7 mantras in sequence, starting from the feet and ankle. Aim, Shim, Jim, Jaim, Haim, Aim, Om. 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 Aim, Shim, Jim, Jaim, Haim, Aim, Om.
Aim Shim Jim Jaim Haim Aim Po. 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 Aim Shim Jim Jaim Haim Aim Po.
Now let's go on to our Bhastrika Pranayam. So bring your hands either to the belly or loose fist, and let's go. 1, inhale. Exhale. 2, exhale. 3, exhale. 4, exhale. 5, exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 30. 40. Exhale. 50. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 90. Exhale. And 20. Exhale. Bring down the hand, keep your eyes closed, and observe the sensations with it. Let's go on to the second round. Loose fist. Let's go. 1. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 30. Exhale. 40. Exhale. 50. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 90. Exhale. And 20. Exhale. Keep the eyes closed and observe the sensations with it. Let's go on to the third round. Loose fist. 1. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 15. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 90. Exhale. 20. Exhale. Bring down the hands. Keep the eyes closed and observe the sensations with it. Mentally tell yourself, I give up all ideas and concepts and I care about nothing. I let go of everything. I let go of everything. I let go of everything. If you have a personal mantra, you can focus on it. If you don't have a personal mantra, you can just visualize a rising vibration from the middle of the chest going out to the top of the head. That sounds like Haim Em Om, a little bit of a modified version of the respiratory mantra. The last syllable becomes Om instead of Haim Em Om, and we will have Om playing in the background. Mentally affirm to yourself, may I be guided to fulfill the purpose for which I am born. With that as the thought, become aware of your senses from the top of the head all the way down to the bottom of the feet. Keep the awareness that I am not this body, but rather this body is an instrument of the cosmic flow. Whenever you're ready to come out of meditation or open your eyes, raise your hands and bring it a few inches in front of your eyes and look straight at the palm of your hands when you open your eyes. Now we can go on to the summary of the conference. But before I go there, is there any questions? Is anybody else like to ask something else in the philosophical subjects or any of this? If so, you can unmute and ask. I'm looking at the chat box. There are some things there. Oh, okay.
The power of 8, Doctor.
What is
What
that?
is that?
The
Power of
eight.
eight.
Yeah.
We will talk about that. Okay. Actually, in the there is something called, you see, what the power of 8 Tammy is talking about is, there is a lady called Lynn McTaggart in New York. And the power of group intention. So if many of you probably have heard the power of prayer. If somebody is ill, many people together have the intention to heal that person. It has an impact. But it'll only have impact provided these people are all meditator and have the ability to project intent. Everybody cannot project intent the same way. So the thing is, Lynn McTaggart, she does this. And what she has found is that if 8 people together do anything with the power of intent, then that has significant effect. It actually fructifies. And I'm sure these 8 people are not ordinary people, but regular meditators who can do that. Now, there is validity for that from the Vedas too. You see, some of you here are from Maharashtra and are very familiar with the Ganapati Atharvashirsha, right? So in that one, in the last part, the exact statement is, Ashtau Brahmanan Samyagrahayitva Surya Varchasvi Bhavati. So what does that mean? It means, what is a Brahmana? Brahmana is a person who looks beyond the physical world, whose awareness goes beyond. It has got nothing to do with caste or anything like that. So if 8 people who have awareness beyond the physical world, in other words, they can project their connection beyond the physical world. Surya Varchasvi Bhavati. So they get the effulgence of the sun, Surya. And as a result of that, of course, you can project a lot of things because you have the energy to project. So that kind of statement is there. So it is something we can try. Now, since you asked this question, Tammy, you see, I'm going to ask all of you over here, and not everybody will feel it, but some of you here may, and I would like to have the response from those of you who feel it. Close your eyes and just observe within. Observe how you feel. Observe how you feel in the body and the shoulders and above the head. Now, think of everyone over here inside you. Can anybody feel a difference in the sensation? If so, do you feel a little lighter, maybe in the head or anything? Then raise your hand. Okay. That was 2 people over there. 3, 4. Okay. Close. Keep your eyes closed. So you thought of from your this thing, you thought of everyone here and you felt a little lighter. Now, think of the whole world inside you. Does it feel lighter or heavier? How many people feel lighter? Raise the hand. How many people feel heavier? Raise the hand. Okay. So it is divided. Okay. One more time, how many felt lighter when they thought of the whole world inside them, the whole Earth planet inside them? So Rekha 1, Nirmal Agarwal, Maithili, Pramila Vadva. Okay, that's fine. This thing. Okay. How many felt heavier when they thought of the whole this thing? One was Malti Puddar and Ram. Okay, Usha Vagasya. Okay. So now, let's see how you feel. Think of the whole world inside you, the entire earth inside you. And now think of the earth how it was 10 years back. Does it feel lighter or heavier? How many people feel lighter? Raise your hand. Okay, how many people feel heavier? Just one person. Okay, so very nice. Now, those of you who felt 10 years back the earth was lighter, focus on that. And slowly go 1 year at a time. From 10 years back, how earth was. Go to 9 years, 8 years, 7 years, 5 years, 6 years, 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year. So now, those of you felt who were 10 years back it was lighter, did it become heavier as you came towards now? How many people felt it? Usha Vagasya felt it, right? Rekha Uppal felt it. Now, I'm going to ask Usha Vagasya and Rekha Uppal. Can you unmute yourself and speak up and tell me that feeling of heavier, did you feel like something like a column became flattened, or how did you feel it? Explain to me.
It's just across heaviness.
Okay. Rekha, how did you feel it?
It was more like a pyramid, I felt. And it became more narrow. It was wider. It kept on getting higher and higher, like narrow. I think that's how I was feeling. I don't know.
Narrower means you felt lighter or heavier?
No, it felt heavier actually. It starts closing down more and more.
Down. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason I ask this question is, you see, the earth itself, every part of the cosmos has its own consciousness and awareness. And just like by you tuning in, you can feel the changes. If we tune into the cosmos and do meditation, let's see what happens. So there are about 8 of you over here who are able to feel 10 years back it was lighter than it is now. Okay? So what I would like you to do is go back, think of the world right now as it is, and mentally go into, think of the earth inside you and go into meditation. So all your meditative energy that is making it lighter is making the world lighter. So let's see how it feels. Would you like Om in the background, or you just want to do it without it? If you want Om in the background, raise your hand. If you don't want Om in the background, raise your hand. Okay. So 3 people, okay. So you don't want Om in the background. Okay. Well, this is a little difficult. So I'll put it in low volume in the background. As you're doing it, observe whether the earth feels lighter. So I stopped it. You just did it for a minute and 40 seconds. While you were doing it, did you feel the earth was getting lighter? Okay. So, okay.
Dr. Rajan,
Yeah.
I was feeling like, I was watching the earth from the above, far from the earth, and getting closer, closer. And then like suddenly I was in a paratroop and then falling to the earth like that, It was not like anything different than what I should imagine. I don't know. It was just the earth and trees.
That's okay. The thing is basically, I wanted you, we all have a magnetic field. That is what keeps us alive. And what happened is we were tuning into the magnetic field of the earth. And the magnetic field is what governs the climatic and weather systems on earth. And so what I have a project over here is, since Tammy raised this issue of 8 people meditating, 2 weeks from today, on a Sunday, that will be the 18th, right? Or maybe that Saturday or that Sunday. From that time on, we can start doing daily 10 minutes of meditation, visualizing the earth, and let's see over a period of 6 months how we can whether anything is going to change in the weather patterns or not, because we will be changing the magnetic field of the earth. Okay, so that might sound very crazy, but Tammy asked this question, so I had not planned to at all speak about this, but we can go and test it and see what happens. But now in the meantime, I will share with you the conference summary, what was discussed in the conference. And Bal Mukund, I hope you're hearing. Okay, I'm sharing with you. The first speaker was actually Konstantin Korotkov. And he had done very interesting readings on pyramids, on the top of the pyramid, bottom of the pyramid. And also we have new instruments now. So many of you who have worked with the BioWell instrument, and people who are in remote areas where you cannot come to us for a reading, now we have a new machine that is going to come for $500. That's $499. Okay. So essentially, you can buy a machine for yourself and you can look at your health parameters on your own if you like in your home. And then it connects into your mobile phone and it will send the data to us where we can do the analysis and guide you remotely. So that is one of the key ones. That is a very interesting one. We can get that. Next one, which is a very interesting one, is in a Moscow university. There is a professor who is a physicist. His name is Professor Voykov. I have met him in 2018 when I was in Russia. And the person has done a lot of work on the mechanism of water. And that video I'm going to get, and that video will be specially designed for Bal Mukund. And the thing is basically, what he explains over here is how the photosynthesis happens in plants from the sun's rays. And how the energy in the body cells, when they produce the energy, it is just the reverse of photosynthesis. And the very interesting part is it goes into certain lower level. Actually, what they say is it is because of there is a fourth level of water. And the fourth level of water is all about the three aspects of it is a solid, liquid, and gas are the three elements. Solid ice, liquid water, and then gas is when it evaporates, right? So there is a fourth aspect of water that they discuss over there, which relates to what they call as how the structure of the molecules are. And that results in how the exchange takes place and how the energy is released and all of that. It's a very, very interesting presentation. And so we will have that over there of Professor Voykov. Then there was a person called Guru Raj who presented from India. And this presentation is all about how you can justify the BioWell machine we use as completely equivalent to Ayurveda. But the very interesting thing is, Ayurveda is an intermediary. In the sense, you don't need Ayurveda with BioWell. You directly know which organ system is the one which has a problem. So you can directly go to that organ systems, which is the problem or the issue. Whereas if you want to translate it into Vata, Pitta, Kapha, the way they did the translation is, you see, from a Ayurvedic standpoint, we already know which organ systems are affected because of Vata, Pitta, or Kapha. Now, for instance, the colon is something that is affected, and the joints are affected by Vata. Whereas on the other hand, the digestive system is the one that is mainly affected by Pitta. And the Kapha element is normally affecting the lungs. And so what they were able to do is, by matching the reading, there is in India, there is now a mechanical device available. And I actually used to have the first trial version when they gave me a beta version for testing. And that is called Nadi Tarangini. That Nadi Tarangini is simply, it is something you press against the radial artery and you hold it over there, and it will give you the reading of Vata, Pitta, Kapha in objective terms. Okay. So with that, they did a matching. You see, what it is the entire Ayurvedic system is no longer relevant because the BioWell system, in terms of assessment, takes you straight over there. But Ayurveda could have a different approach, way to it. Now, what has happened is, in Ayurveda, there are different herbs and then, of course, yoga practices that they say, if the Vata is too high, or if the Pitta is too high, or the Kapha is low, or this thing, what herbs that you use. So to that degree, when we see weaknesses in one organ system or another, which herbs may be useful, may be a very nice integration of the Ayurvedic understanding. Yoga practices, we have already done it, so we know it. The next one, presentation that came is about the measurement of phantom effect and how it happens. I don't know how many of you have heard of the phantom effect. Like, for example, if you take a leaf and you cut off part of the leaf and then you put it within in the electromagnetic field. And if you take a Kirlian photography, what you will get is it'll look like the whole leaf is over there. But that'll only last for a period of time. In the sense, you have to do it within like 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and after that, you won't get that same thing. So how is this understood? And then what happens is there are different people who will get different kinds of experiences where they visualize various things and all of that. How that is explained and how you measure it. This is the area that Serge Kernbach explained. And I have his whole video file sitting over there in that drive. So anytime we want, we can play that video and look at it. All the videos will be coming, but they'll send us later on. Now, this person, Christian Bordes, presented something which is very interesting. I have met him from 2018 when I was in St. Petersburg. So Christian Bordes is a person, there is also in California and San Diego, there is a person called Michael Borkin. Now what Michael Borkin has done is, he will take assessment of hair sample and look at various things. And from there, he will tell which kind of supplement will be suitable for you. And so what he did was, he has put all of these into little tubes as a test tube. So you hold the tube, and from that, he will assess where is your weakness. And then he will give you all of these things. Now, what Christian Bordes has done is, all of these assessments, he doesn't know how to use yoga or any of the other things. So he uses Michael Borkin's, cream or whatever supplements is what he uses. So what he does is, to validate it, he validates in 3 different ways, actually 4 different ways. What are the 4 different ways he validates? He uses BioWell. And the other thing that he uses is, he does a scan of the eyes, iridology. And based upon the pattern of the eyes, he can tell what is the weakness in your system and how to work with it. The other thing which he does is, he does kinesiology. And what is kinesiology? He will have you extend out your hand and hold it over there. And he will ask you to hold whatever he wants to test in your chest like that. And then what happens is, if it is good for you, and if he pushes the hand over there, the hand will not go down. But if it's not good for you, the deltoid muscles over here will give way and the hand will just go down. This is what is kinesiology. And there is the 4th way, actually there are 5 ways he did. The 4th way in which you can do is, he says you bring your little finger to the thumb and you hold it tight over there. And with the other one you're holding, and you as the tester, you try to separate the thing. And if you can do it easily, then in which case it's not working. If you can hold, it is good for you kind of thing. And the 5th way in which he tests it is with what he called as craniology pressure. He puts pressure on the this thing and on the head, and he holds it over there. The patient holds it there. And if they find things are, smooth and things, or if there is resistance, then it is bad. If it is smooth, then in which case it's okay. So what he says is, through this process of 5 ways of validation, he can give 100% guarantee that which supplement will work for whom. So that is his claim, and it is a very So that is this thing. He is based out of Spain. And anyway, so that is this thing. There is something which is very interesting he mentioned. And this is something which we have seen in our BioWell reading. What he says is, the intestines, liver, and throat will immediately react to readings. They're highly reactive. So if something is going wrong in your system, intestines, liver, and throat will very quickly show you what is happening. If there are deep-rooted problems that are of long-standing problems, those will be reflected in the heart, bladder, and lungs. So that was a very interesting thought that he had expressed. And I had a question in my mind to ask. The next speaker was this person called Lynn McTaggart. And this person has done this 8 people meditation with intention to bring peace to the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. And when in when this man, Ferguson, who got killed, right, by the police. When that happened, George Ferguson, right? So when that happened, to bring peace over there, they did meditation. And at that time, they were measuring it with this instrument. Actually, about how they measure, I will just show you right over here. You see this instrument here. This instrument here, you see the spiky one. This is called a Sputnik. Okay, so if you can, you put it over there. Normally, it would measure the nature of the vibration and environment. So what happens is, if you go to a temple or a holy place, the readings will be very high. If you go to a depressing place, the readings will be very low. And this, of course, gets connected into our BioWell machine, and then with that to the computer, and that's how we get the reading. So what happens is, in this particular case, she did something very, very strange and interesting. That is, the readings were all done in Russia by Korotko, and the group of 8 people who were doing the meditation, they intended that the healing that they are doing for it should be measurable in Russia. And Korotkov actually showed us the reading, how the reading changed. Of course, I have seen on many other occasions the readings that have been done with this. So it does work, okay? But we have to also remember that any of these devices, if there are any, those of you who have used the BioWell know that if there are any disturbances anywhere, those disturbances can create changes in readings very, very quickly. So the next one over here that we have is, the next presenter was Erico Azevedo, and this entire Brazil team, Jose Pisolota Filho, and then Ricardo Gelman. And these people were in the talking about information field. And there are some interesting aspects about this which I want to follow upon, and we will see. So today's presentation began with Dr. Evigen Semenikin. This person spoke on the influence of minerals on human system. And they found amethyst is universally helpful for people. Whereas on the other hand, what they did was they looked at, many of you are familiar. Astrologers will look at your chart and say, this gemstone is good for you and things like that. What they found was that the astrological calculations are only 90% correct. They are not 100% correct. And so all of them will not work. And this is my experience too. So it is very, very individual to each person. And you cannot go by just plain this thing. Now, the other part of it, which he also mentioned, is that they looked at it from a pure, the gemstone alone. Now, what happens is gemstones are usually mounted in gold or silver or platinum or something like that. So when they get mounted in the metal, their property also changes. So that is where, the point mentioned was it could be very, you cannot always tell. Another person who presented was Dr. Vasily Kiselev. He's a highly intuitive person. And this person had what he called the method of rapid stimulation of biological and mental zones. And what he was doing really was aspects like vibrational therapy, like our mantra and all of that. But at the same time, what he would do is he would do like massaging, kind of machine-based massaging kind of thing that would elongate muscles. Actually, there is a doctor in Munich, in Germany, somebody called Dr. Ulrich Randall, and he has something which does exactly the same thing. So actually, I spent 3 days with him in his clinic in Munich, and I observed, how they do the healing and all of that. And so, as this man says, it elongates muscle. And actually, Dr. Ulrich Randall has had the same experience. It is for people who have very difficult condition in healing bone breakages and things like that without very invasive surgery, how they have been able to heal, and he showed that. And he also spoke about the power of intention. He does many things together, which was very, very interesting. The next person who presented, it was very, very unimpressive. A person called Kulkarni from India presented, and he did something, the impact of Rudram chanting, he said, but his knowledge was so poor that he didn't even explain it properly. And so I kind of, because I know more about this than he does, it really was a big disappointment for me, the way he spoke, and he didn't this thing. Anyway, then the next person who spoke was a person called Hesham Sami, and he spoke about biogeometry. Biogeometry is nothing but Vastu Shastra from India. So that Vastu Shastra, actually, he has come from Egypt. From Egypt, when they work with the pyramids and all of that, they have created a system called, they call it as biogeometry, as to how shapes and patterns and functionality changes many things. So he says that when there are electrical cables that may be creating unwanted, radiation for you anywhere, there is a pattern whereby you can neutralize it and harmonize it. So the same thing for water flows. So what are the mechanisms of harmonizing? He told us. So I noted down how to harmonize them. And so he also says that given the amount of all the electromagnetic radiation going around from TV, cell phone, and all of these, you can protect yourself from these with a certain vibrations. And it's very, very interesting. As he was speaking, I had with me the Ekamukhi Rudraksha, and it does the same thing for me, at least. So it is very interesting that how you can, tune this thing, kind of thing that can happen. Then there is a person called Nima Farshid, and this person is actually right here in Florida, and he does what is called distance healing. And this is something I'm very familiar with. How you can measure, if you're taking the BioWell measurement, you can take it for yourself, and then you can visualize somebody inside you whom you know very well, and you can take the reading, and you'll be reading their vibrations in you. So that is the kind of distance assessment with BioWell that he was doing. Now the next person, Roberto Contreras of Honduras, he's also a meditator, and he's actually a medical doctor. And this man spoke actually, what he spoke, he was quoting Deepak Chopra all through. And not only that, he was only speaking Yoga Sutras. He was talking about Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. Everything we talk about, that's what he was talking about. So it was very, very interesting. So I have his Gmail. Maybe we'll invite him to join our group. Okay. The next person is Dr. Sam Osmanagic of Bosnia. This person is actually an American citizen of Bosnian origin. He grew up in Houston, and I have met him before in 2018. So in Bosnia, there are pyramids, and what kind of healing effects, and he has gone to measure with scientific equipment on the the level of vibration, and I put in there the 7.83 hertz, the Schumann frequency, negative ions, the pH value of water in there, below in the tunnels. And lastly, of course, the Korotkov spoke about whether we can use this Sputnik for more measurements to see what will happen in various places. Then at that time, I had a weird thought, which I shared with everyone over there. That is, what happens is, with this Sputnik measurement, you can measure changes in the environment. You can, when you measure changes in environment, you can literally measure what is going to happen to the nature of the crop productivity, or the nature of, whether any pandemic or anything might emerge, viruses, or even the mental health of the population, the area, and things like that. So what happened was, I suggested to him that if there are people who have bought this thing all over the world, 5,000, 10,000, in all these locations, if we can have 24 hours, if we have this Sputnik active, then in which case it is almost like, we have like 5,000 weather stations around the world from which our National Oceanographic and Atmosphere Administration predicts the weather forecast, right? So if we have this in so many places in the world, and if we can integrate the data, how the vibrations are changing in different parts of the world, we can actually create a prediction of the environmental prediction, the possibilities of diseases, where it will come, or where there will be droughts and famines, and where there will be social chaos and fighting. So that kind of thing is what I expressed to him. And so there was a little bit of excitement in the end. So that is the kind of a summary of the conference, and I've gone 7 minutes over time. Any quick question? 3 more minutes and we'll close down.
Is there any structure in the pyramid that say if you put anything in that level, it's going to stay fresh forever?
Yes. The thing is, you see, I cannot give you a quick answer, but I will attempt to give you a quick answer. What they have found is the most powerful place where everything is preserved and no diseases enter, and where no bacterial formation occurs, is at the base of the, it is like, it is a few feet below the pyramid.
Few feet below, okay. Not
Below.
in the middle, okay. I
Not
thought
in
it's
the middle.
One third of the pyramid, if you put a platform and you put anything, it's going to stay fresh forever.
Yeah.
It
So,
never dies.
So that is what they have measured.
Okay.
And of course, when you say fresh forever, how? Why? So this is where the measurement of the vibrations, the pH, everything comes over there. So they have measured all of these things. Okay, so we'll close over
Thank
here.
you.
Namaste, everyone. See you.